Very good evening, everyone. Charles here, FRGNT4x.com. FRGNT Daily Chart Analysis. Apologies, alerts are going off everywhere. And of course, FRGNT Mastery, whereby we go through not only the chart analysis, but how we will look to approach the day ahead. 7:30 GMT, the majority of every trading day. So what is it today? It's Wednesday the 18th of March 2026, and it's just approaching 20 minutes to 7 here in Milan. So quite an active day today, in all honesty. Seemingly the DXY is playing ball today and is delivering a handful of opportunities, to which those in FRGNT Mastery have taken advantage of. I myself am still yet to fully capitalize on what has been laid out for me, as you can see by my current position. The first trade today was a break-even trade, taken slightly earlier, hence why I had to move that position to break even sooner rather than later. As you can see, this 15-minute order block was not really the 15-minute order block that I wanted to be taking the position from. Neither was this order block here, to be quite honest. It was the order block right up at the highs. And as I always say in FRGNT Mastery, it's always best and in your best interest to short from as high as possible from your point of interest. So without further ado, let me bring your attention to this morning. So live calls had ended, and then the charts went out first. Live calls ended, and let me just press this link. Hopefully you're going to see that. So what's that? 7/7 UTC. We had every thought in our forecasting that price was going to provide a short opportunity, perhaps from that 15-minute order block. Now, if I do my best to get rid of that, go back to FRGNT, back to the charts, that's exactly what we're seeing. So as I said, first position this morning, out break even. Second position, currently floating. I think at that stage it's around about 2.5 to 3%. My target is down here close to 7%, in all honesty. So again, just a nice highlight of discipline that's required. It's either going to be break even at this stage, or it's going to be a full take profit, or perhaps if price doesn't move before the end of my personal trading day around 9 o'clock local, so that would be around 8 UTC or 8 GMT, then I will close that position out and bank whatever is there available and come back tomorrow. So this video, what's the point? Really, well, just to highlight the planning, the prior stages of planning. So not only is that provided for FRGNT Mastery, I send that free of charge to all of the FRGNT Telegram groups. It's just the FRGNT Mastery. They're able to hear the live breakdown of exactly how I will be looking to take these trades, and when I am taking these positions, I'm more often than not letting FRGNT Mastery members know when I'm taking that positions. It's not a signal service. It's not something that I would ever subscribe to in terms of signals, but certainly when I like a trade, FRGNT Mastery members are aware, and when I love a trade, FRGNT Mastery members are certainly made aware. And more often than not, when I enter the trade, I'm more than happy to share my positions as I am now. I haven't banked any profits today. However, we are in some floating profits, and to be quite honest, a break-even day is not a day to shy away from. We're trading in very volatile times. So again, I will say to YouTube or anywhere else that is viewing this video that it is quite testing times at the moment. So really give yourself a pat on the back if you are still hanging in there, still sticking by your trading plan, still remaining disciplined. To paint the picture, a couple of weeks ago or even a week ago, there was an article on the Financial Times about a hedge fund that had lost 600 million. So to put that into perspective, it is quite tricky times at the moment, to be quite honest. So the fact that we're able to get out break even in some positions and really understand that we are risking serious amounts of money on a personal level and a professional level. So it's meaningful for all of us to be able to risk that money and still come out break even whilst risking and still being floating in some profits, which to be quite honest, closing this wouldn't be a bad day in the office, to be quite honest, financial wise. But nevertheless, the target is very much so set, and my plan is by, as I've said, 2100 local time 8 GMT, then I will close out whatever is remaining in this position. So yeah, just to paint a real nice picture of the prior planning that went into the stages. And if I scroll through the Telegram chats this morning, I gave the FRGNT favorites of which I was looking for, and that was EU firm favorite for today. If I just pop that back up, I don't know if it's going to come up with the text, but yeah, that was EU firm favorite today as a result of that break. Pull back into imbalance, happy to take that short. As you can see, FRGNT members got that straight away. Exclusive only for FRGNT members. Now, if I go back to FRGNT, here we are. The second was GCAD, which again, GCAD, to my knowledge, played out pretty much to perfection from that order block up at the highs that tapped in just prior London Open. And if I'm not mistaken, price didn't actually roll back. It continued to move short. So let's have a look at that actually whilst we are live. So what do we have? GCAD. Yeah, exactly. Forecasting price to roll back, hopefully, to the imbalance left up to the highs. But it didn't play out to perfection. And there was no trade there, unfortunately. As you can see, my alert is still very much so there available. But nevertheless, while I am here on the chart, you can see how we depict the DXY, looking for that bullishness coming from the DXY, the weekly rejection, 4-hour order block. That's exactly what we had, right? And that played perfectly into our hands as the DXY pushed up and pulled back down. That is exactly us on Euro US dollar, making that push down and then pulling back. And as the dollar strengthens, that is Euro US dollar moving to the downside. So hopefully we can see continuous bullish pressure coming out of that DXY. That will be myself closing out profits for the day, and we'll call that a great day in the office. And then thirdly, after after pound CAD, we had GU, which I said I'm personally awaiting a 4-hour candle closure before the 4-hour 50 MA. Then I'll be happy to short on the retrace from the 15-minute order block. That should hopefully be left behind. So we'll bring that up to your attention as well. This trade, as you can see, 8:30 UTC, the break, pull back into the imbalance left behind. If I go and change now my browser back to FRGNT and GU, what happened? So we had the break, pull back into imbalance, and off price went. But as I said, I wanted to see that 4-hour candle close first and foremost below that 4-hour 50 MA. We didn't quite get the full retracement back at the moment, which would be on the 15-minute price doing exactly that now. So I'm hoping that that does not happen because of the correlation between GU and EU. If that's to happen, then it's more likely I'll be stopped out break even of Euro US dollar. So hoping that that forecast doesn't come to fruition just now. And then if I head back to Euro US dollar to see where we lie. So I hope that paints a nice picture for you all listening, that it really does go on in FRGNT Mastery. Not only that, FRGNT Mastery are offering a 7-day free trial where you pay absolutely nothing at all. Just enjoy, understand the charts that are being sent out to you, take part in the live calls that take place, as I say, the majority of every trading day at 07:30 GMT. It's most certainly an early rise if you are in the UK, but nevertheless, if you're going to be staying disciplined, staying true to your profession in the markets, it's most certainly worth waking up for. So I won't take too much of your time, but just a quick breakdown on what we had here. So we had the 4-hour order block. To be honest, that 4-hour order block was governed by the 4-hour 50 EMA. So using now also that weekly time frame to the top right-hand chart, could see, and I explained to FRGNT Mastery members that the previous weekly candle closed bearish below that weekly 50 MA. So of course, like every trend and pair, after that close below the 50 MA, I expect a price to retrace back into that weekly 50 MA, find some liquidity above it perhaps, and then we'd be looking for the short position down in line with that weekly time frame. Also perfectly in line with the 4-hour time frame that we can see here. If I enlarge that bigger for you all to take a deeper look, we can quite clearly see that the 4 hours making lower lows, clear lower highs, lower lows, and here was what we were looking to determine, whether this was the lower high extension in the leg before price would make that lower low continuation. And as I said in FRGNT Mastery, it's not up to us to hold that position down, perhaps down to the lower low continuation. It's our job to take out of the market what we see feasible. For me personally, going onto that 15-minute time frame, I would like to hold that position down to a potential area where I could foresee myself looking for perhaps an inverse trade, or at least a decent enough reaction as a result of that 15-minute time frame. From here, we've made that first high, potential higher low, higher high. Now this leg here could have well have been the higher low in the 15-minute intraday perspective, but to that said, I expect price to roll down to the downside for the bigger or long-term reversal move. So still hanging in that position at the moment, and then bringing all of that to the charts, just waiting for a shift and change of momentum from the refined higher time frame order blocks, refined down to the 15. And FRGNT Mastery members know, in terms of entry criteria and techniques, all of the ways that you're able to enter. You can go down to the lower time frames, perhaps. Even on my first position here, I was down to the 5-minute and the 1-minute time frame. And then for this bigger long-term position, as you can see, I simply use the 15 and the 5-minute. So a variety of trading methods shared in FRGNT Mastery. And that's all she wrote, to be quite honest. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for joining me. And of course, thank you for all of your support across all of social media. And those of you that are in any of the FRGNT Telegram groups, I very much so appreciate your attendance. So until next time, I will certainly give you guys listening an update on this trade, whether or not it is break even or whether or not it's a full take profit for around about 7%. What's important is the setup, the degree of entry criteria, and the minimal error that was applied to that trade. So all round happy at taking a textbook trade, happy at the result that came from that, whether or not it's break even or whether or not it is a full take profit. It is the process that matters more. And as you see just here up at the top, it's a sample of trades, and that's exactly what's important for longevity in your trading journey. So again, all the very best, everyone. Good luck in your trading journey, and I hope to brush paths with you all very soon. Take care. Charles.